Hi everybody, this is Michael Gatewood and I'm giving you a quick tour of Adobe Photoshop CC 2015. I've got Photoshop open right now and we're going to go in here and we're going to start by bringing an image in. And we're going to go into File and we're going to go into Open, and at this point we're going to go in and find a file. Now what I'm going to do is just simply go in here, find a file real quick. And let's see if we can't get that done. And the file that I think we're going to go with is going to be a nice little JPEG image. Let's see which one we want to go with. Yeah, these are just crowd scenes from a parade. And see if we can find one that we like. Okay, this looks good. We'll go ahead and open and see what we have. Now, first of all, one of the things that we do have is we have a JPEG, and this file size can easily be determined by just simply going down here and go document size, and you can see the JPEG profile, document dimensions, measure, or measurement and scale. And if we want to, we can go right in here into image size and see that it's 46 megs in size and the dimensions of this file. Let's go ahead and hit cancel. Now the first thing that we have to deal with is we have to deal with our tools on the left hand side. This is our move tool, which allows us to move the file. The one thing that you'll notice that when I try to move it, it won't, and I'm going to click OK. We have to also look at our panels on the right hand side, and we see that this layer is locked. If we click on it, we can unlock that layer and we can move this over out of the way. Moving panels out of the way is as simple as going to the bar on the top and moving it over to the side. Now when we go to the move tool, we're going to see that we can move this file. If you're brand spanking new to Photoshop, you're going to see that it's difficult to move the file and impossible if it's locked. Control-Z is undo without doing a few things first. Now let's go in here. We've got the move tool, but let's go in here and take a look at the rectangular marquee. Now what we have is we have a circle. If we go in here and say this is a selection in this area and we don't like it, we can go in here and go undo elliptical marquee or Command or Control-Z and undo it. Now when we click and hold down, we're going to see that we have a rectangular and an elliptical. Now if we go to the rectangular, click and drag, we have a nice square. Now if we need to, we can click and we can move the square around. But if you go to the move tool and click, you're going to cut. And that is something that may be frustrating to you as a beginner, because all of a sudden, no, I just wanted to move it. I went to the move tool and I tried to move it, but no, it clipped it or cut it. Control or Command Z is undo, but remember in the drop down under Edit Undo, it can get you back a step. If you need to go back further, then you're going to have to go into your history to do so, and you'll have to see that you can go back several steps, in fact up to 20, unless you change that within your preferences. Now let's go in here and go into Edit, and let's go in, and if we want to, step back or Command D, which allows you to actually get rid of that marquee, or Control D. Now that is a hotkey and you're going to have to get used to it, and you're going to have to get comfortable with it. It's not all about the mouse and just clicking around. You're going to have some options here to be able to do things quickly in this program, or you will take all day. And let me tell you something about Photoshop. It's not for everyone. It's not an easy program. It's not intuitive, and the further you want to go with it, you're going to have to spend some time with it. Okay, now if we want to, we can go in here and we can take a look at the lasso. If we click and drag, we can create odd shapes. And if we want to, we can simply go in here and undo that or get rid of it at this point with Command D, which is undo, or Control D. Now, that is a great way to go ahead and get an odd selection. But if you want to, you can go to the polygonal lasso tool, where clicking points can get you that same odd shape. And you have to go back to the start and click, and then that closes the selection. And if you want to, remember Command or Control D or deselect for your selection options. Okay. Now, if we want to select a particular color, we can go to the Magic Wand tool and click and get, let's say, a red. Now, Control or Command D to deselect. If you go in here and you want to create a selection, but you go to the selection options under the Magic Wand and click on this option, then all of a sudden you've got one selection, but when you go to grab another selection, the first one goes away. So this is for multiple selections, and this is to intersect or subtract and intersect your selection. There we go. There we go. There we go. And if we want to select deselect, and that takes away the selection. So these are selection tools, but let's go over here to the crop tool. And if we go into the crop tool, we can actually go in and crop this file in the way that we might want to have this selected. And the crop tool can really change the look and feel of a particular image, getting rid of some of the things that you don't like. When you double click, that will go in there and create the selection that you're looking for, and now you have a different shape. And if we want to, we can go in here and we can just simply or undo crop, and we can go back. Okay, now there are options within the crop tool like delete cropped pixels. And if you do that, then whatever you crop, you will delete. And if you uncheck it, then there's options for being able to just crop in but not delete those pixels. And that's pretty cool. Now, if we want to, we can go to the eyedropper tool, and we can go in here and select certain colors that we might want to use and have that within our foreground swatch, and we can flip that and go with background or foreground. These are just a few of the tips that we're going to be going through. And now I can do a very long video on every single tool, but right now what we've done is we've gone through some of the selection tools with an image. Now what I want to do is let you know that I'm going to do a series of these videos that are going to carry us from beginner, first part of the tools for selections, the next part of the tools, the next part of the tools, and the next part of the tools, getting you through this whole tool options within Photoshop, and then we'll go into panels. So this is Michael Gatewood, and we're dealing with selection tools, beginner part of Photoshop, and that gets you a little ways down the road. Look for my other videos to be able to go ahead and go a little bit further. This is Michael Gatewood. Talk to you later. Bye.